Listen to this recap and you tell me I got these circumferences wrong for these circles. We're looking at three circles of the 3.6-inch circumference ball. The 30-degree position, 60-degree position, and 90-degree position. And whenever we looked at them, we set the four heights at 90 degrees, 60 degrees, 45 degrees, and 30 degrees of each of the circles. And then we looked at the diameters. And we noticed that the diameters were at the ratio of a 60-degree triangle. Whenever you take the diameter of the 1.8-inch circumference circle, whenever you set it as an adjacent, when you find the opposite leg, well, it's equal to this circle's diameter. And then whenever we solved for the hypotenuse, we found that it was equal to the diameter of this circle. Then we moved down to the 60-degree position, 0.5 inches. We set that as an adjacent, and then we found the opposite side for a 60-degree triangle and found that, well, it's the height at 60 degrees in the 1-inch diameter circle. And then whenever we solved for the hypotenuse, well, it was equal to the height at 60 degrees inside of the 3.6-inch circumference circle. And then we moved down to the 45-degree position. We set this height as an adjacent leg. And then we solved for the opposite leg at a 60-degree triangle and found that it's equal to the height inside the 1-inch diameter circle at 45 degrees. And then we solved for the hypotenuse, and it was equal to the height at 45 degrees inside the 3.6-inch circumference circle. And then we moved down to 30 degrees, and we set this height as an adjacent. Then we found the opposite leg, and it was equal to the height as inside the 1-inch diameter circle at 30 degrees, 0.5 inches. And then we solved for the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse just happened to be equal to the height at 30 degrees inside the 3.6-inch circumference circle. Then we took the circumferences and we set the 1.8-inch circumference as an adjacent. And then we solved for the opposite side. And we found that it was equal to the circumference, the true value of pi, of the 1-inch diameter circle. And then we solved for the hypotenuse. And whenever we solved for the hypotenuse, we found that it was equal to 3.6 inches, the circumference of this circle. 1.8 squared plus pi squared equals 3.6 squared. You can do that with degrees as well. 180 degrees squared plus 311.76914,536 degrees squared will equal 360 degrees squared.